If you are considering doing a postdoc at Stanford and exploring potential postdoctoral mentors, the Stanford Profiles website is a great resource. Navigate to profiles.stanford.edu, and you'll get to this landing page. There's a search bar that you can use to search by name, email address, department name, or other keyword. And this will bring up profiles that match. To walk you through, we're going to start with a current Propel mentor, Dr. Manuel Amieva. So as I type in his name, we'll see that a list of matching names pop up. Clicking on his name, this opens his profile. The top of the profile will feature a photo, person's name, their title, professor, assistant professor, associate professor, postdoctoral scholar, etc., and any departments with which they're associated. Here we see Dr. Amieva has a dual appointment in pediatrics and M&I. As we scroll down, there are 4 possible tabs within the Stanford profiles: the Bio tab, Research and Scholarship, Teaching, and Publications. Starting with the Bio tab, here we see Dr. Amieva's clinical focus, his academic appointments, which would be the departments with which he is associated, and an institute or a center with which he is associated. Each of these is a link, so you could open these links to explore more about the departments or institutes or centers. It also highlights this person's education. And then moving over to the right side, there's contact information, often including an email address, so you can contact them directly. There's sometimes also an administrator contact or a clinical contact for that person. Scrolling down to the additional info section and the links section, we have a link to their ORC-ID. And here, Dr. Amieva has also included his bio sketch and a link to his lab website. As you're exploring faculty as a potential postdoc mentor, the NIH Bio Sketch is a very handy resource for exploring their current and past funding track record. And the lab website often has their most current research interests listed, in addition to people who are currently associated with the lab and people who have been in the lab in the past. If you are interviewing with a lab or seriously considering a faculty mentor, I would recommend using the lab website to also contact people who have trained with that person in the past or who are training with them now. Moving forward to the Research and Scholarship tab, this often has a research overview. Here we see Dr. Amieva has included a very long research overview that includes the variety of topics and approaches that he is using in his current research. This is not always as long or as up to date, but it can be a useful way for you to see what they're working on. Moving on to the Teaching tab, we see any courses that they are either currently or have taught in the past. The Stanford Advisees section lists the postdoctoral scholars and doctoral students that are working in this group. And these also are links to these folks' profiles, which gives you an opportunity to explore what their postdocs are doing and where they come from. Navigating back to Dr. Amieva, we also see this graduate and fellowships program section that shows what programs they're associated with. Moving on to the last publications tab, we see a long list of publications. Dr. Amieva has 71 listed, 28 of which are listed as featured publications. These are the ones that I would explore if I was looking at what kind of work the faculty member is doing. As you look at these publications, you can click on the More section, and that expands an abstract and links to view the publications in other places. And we can scroll down and see there are plenty here. The other places that I would like you to call to your attention on this right side are the profiles with related publications. Here we can expand to see that there are 10. These are faculty members and sometimes postdoctoral scholars whose publications are related. Often they have co-published publications. This is a great place for you to expand that net and look at people who are doing related research. Also, continuing to scroll down are the publication topics for this person. This is essentially a keyword list. The size of the keyword is related to the relevance to this person's work. But this would allow you to click through and find other faculty or postdoctoral scholars who are working in these areas. So, for example, if you were interested in Dr. Amieva's work because of its relevance to host pathogen interactions, and that was a broad keyword of interest to you, you could click on this. And Stanford Profiles will generate a list of people who also have included that keyword in their research. So here we see Dr. Amieva. And scrolling down, we see Ann Arvin, Steve Bannock, Michael Bassick, Carolyn Bertozzi, Matt Boggio, Paul Bollicki, and John Boothroyd, in addition to 10 more pages of names who have listed host pathogen interactions. This would allow you then to look at other faculty profiles in that keyword. So here we see Dr. John Boothroyd's profile. And we see additional pieces within his bio: administrative appointments, honors and awards, boards, advisory committees, and professional organizations, etc. Also, he's included his CV that wasn't in the previous one. And as I mentioned before, there's an administrator who is his alternate contact. Again, research and scholarship. Teaching includes advisees, and then a list of publications, related publication faculty members, and keywords. So you can navigate these variety of Stanford profiles to find a network of faculty members and postdoctoral scholars who are doing work that is relevant to the work that you would like to do as a postdoc. This is a great way to find potential postdoctoral mentors.